everyone, my name is Shayla. When I was a child, my mother knew something was different about me. She told the teachers she was going to get me tested. They were relieved because legally they couldn't tell my parents that there was something different about me and that I wasn't like the other kids. But I do believe teachers should be able to tell parents because they see their kids in a different way than some parents may see their children. And plus, after a while, a teacher sometimes, not always, kind of sees it after a while, after so many times of teaching, so many years. So sometimes they know what they're talking about. So I think a teacher should legally be able to say something. But there's some parents in this world that still get offended by stuff like that. They think being diagnosed with something or a learning disability is a bad thing, which is not, because everyone learns differently. I ended up getting tested and I was diagnosed with ADHD. I loved being in special education. Small classes were absolutely great because the teacher only had a couple of students to teach. Plus, I had help in other classrooms by the help. Sometimes it'll be the main teacher, but we also had an extra teacher in there that was specified in special education, and she would help us in class, or whoever was the teacher. So in elementary and middle school, teachers loved me. I was kind of like a teacher's pet. I was sweet and kind to everybody. I think teachers just love seeing someone so bubbly at school. Even teachers that didn't even have me as a student, they were excited to see me in the hallways. They'll be like, "Hi, Shayla." I'll be like, "Hello." My mother also found out from a doctor that I had a sensitivity issue, meaning I was not comfortable in jeans, and it would cause me to have behaviors. Now, a lot of people with autism have behaviors, but we didn't know I had autism at the time. Just everyone expresses their emotions differently. We're all human. But yeah, my mom didn't know that was a thing. She just thought I was refusing to get dressed for school. So it was a battle. So she would have to get me dressed, all that stuff, and then eventually bring me to school. Even though I wasn't, quote unquote, dressed appropriately, because it would be winter and I would be in shorts and a tank top. So my mother would always bring a second pair of clothes for me to give to the teacher if I somehow changed my mind and was like, I'm cold. I'm kind of chilly. Can I add more clothes to myself? So all my friends during this time happened to also be in special education because I didn't really get to know the other kids very well yet because we were in such a small class, the group of us, and we just got to know each other very well. So most of the kids in my class, the special education class, had ADHD. But there was other students there with other learning disabilities. So high school, that was very difficult for me because I ended up going to a school that did not specialize in knowing how to aid someone with special needs. So I had to take summer school every single year, except senior year. Because if I went to summer school at senior year, then I wouldn't have been able to go to graduation. But at age 17, my mom started noticing stuff more again and was like, okay, there's something more here. I gotta get her tested again. So my mother took me to another doctor. I can't remember if it was the same one or the same whatever. But I ended up getting tested and they found out that I had OCD and I also had a health condition that causes physical pains, like stomach aches, when I have anxiety. So I end up, getting the stomach aches, I get nausea, I could also vomit. It sucks. But at this point, I'm kind of used to it. For many years, she thought I had bipolar. Well, come to find out, I don't. So in my early 20s, my mother, she took me to get tested again because she was like, there's something more. And we got to find this out. And the doctors are not listening. So we went to a doctor again. I filled out a form, like a whole packet of questions. The doctor was like, oh, your daughter has Asperger's. We were like, what? Because we didn't even think that was a possibility. And I started to look into it. I started learning about it. And I'm like, oh my God, this makes so much sense. Now I know the way I've been feeling, acting, and why. So it was so amazing to finally have my questions answered, to finally understand what was going on in my head and why I'm having these behaviors. I'm so thankful the doctors finally listened to my mom, because there was more to the story. I had Asperger's, but every day I'm still learning about it, and it fits me perfectly because I finally understand what the hell is happening.